This video is to walk you through the investigation for linear modeling. What we're going to do is we're going to take one country and we are going to graph their total cases of COVID, and we are going to see what their doubling rate is. How many days does it take for their number of cases to double? We're going to use linear regression to do that. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to open up Google Classroom at classroom.google.com, and you're going to go to today's assignment. If you go into the assignment, you are going to see that there is a investigation linear modeling sheet with your name on it. So you just click on that and you go in there. First thing it tells you to do is go to this link to get your chosen country's data. You can choose any country you want to. I just ask you not to choose China or South Korea because they are no longer having new cases. Don't choose USA, Brazil, because those are countries that maybe everybody will choose, and I want to see different data. There's some other weird countries that you won't and you shouldn't choose, like New Zealand, and there's some countries where they don't have a lot of cases and they're not growing. Okay, we want to see exponential growth, which looks kind of like this. Okay, so when you click on this link, you are going to go to a site, a really cool site, which has data for a whole bunch of different countries. What it shows here is the world's growth rate, which kind of looks like a straight line, doesn't look like exponential. What you're going to do is you're going to choose your favorite country and unclick world. So I'm going to unclick world, and then I'm going to click on Afghanistan, and then I just close it by pressing X. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the Afghanistan data by scanning my cursor along it, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some April data. Okay, so I'm going to take data from, let's see, April, I'm going to take April 16th to 25th. So April 16th has 784 cases, 17th has 794, 18th has 845, 19th has 908, 20th has 996. Do you see I'm just getting these numbers by scanning my cursor along it pretty easy, and I'm writing them down on a piece of paper. Of course, you could just write them directly into your Google Sheet, okay? So I'm getting all this data, and I'm writing it down, and then I'm going to go here, I'm going to write it down here. So first I'm going to write down which country I chose. I'm just going to write the dates down here, and then I'm going to write my case numbers here, so how many cases for each date, and then I'm going to come back in a second, okay? Okay, now I'm back. I wrote the dates from April 16th to 25th on the left side. I took off the months April, and I just wrote 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You can use any 10 days that you find. You could be it could be May also, May 1st through 10th. The only reason why I didn't use May is because somebody might take April 30th to May 9th, and then that would have a weird sequence here. So what you want are consecutive numbers. So I use 16 to 25 since those are 10 consecutive numbers. You don't want to have the discontinuity of going from the end of April to the beginning of May, because that messes up your graph, okay? Then I wrote down my cases here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the natural log of each one of these numbers with the calculator, and then I'm going to write those here. So I'm going to be back in a second. I'm just going to do ln of 784, ln of 784, 794, 845. I'm going to write them all down here, okay? I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I typed in the numbers. You can see that the log numbers are much smaller than these numbers, right? Because this is 2.71 to the 6.66 power would give you 7.84, right? Now let's go to the next step. The next step is they want us to go to desmos.com, log in with your school Gmail, and then they want us to enter the second column and the log column into a data table, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to go to Desmos, and let's see, I opened up Desmos on this. Okay, so I'm going to open up a blank Desmos. And the way you enter a data table is you press plus and you press table. And so I'm going to enter my data here. So I'm going to put a 16 and a 17, 18, right? And then on the right side, I'm going to put in my log data, which is 6.66 and 6.67 or 6.68. So I'm going to put the second column here and the fourth column here, and I'm going to fill that up, and then I'll be back, okay? Okay, so I typed in my data here, and by the way, why don't I save my data? I could save it for later. And I'm going to go back to my instructions, see what it says. So I put it in the data table. Then it says to adjust the X scale to 0 to 25 and the Y scale so that it shows your log data. And let's see. The way you do that is you press the wrench here on the right side. I just adjusted the frame so that you can see the wrench. So I press the wrench. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to change the x-axis scale from 0 to 25 or 0 to 30. Okay, so you can have your whole month in there. And then the y-axis, looks like my numbers range from 6.5 to 7.5, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put 6.5 to 7.5. Okay. Then I close my wrench. And so that looks pretty good. I can see all my points here. I can see my X and Y axis. I just adjusted my frame so that you can see the X axis and the Y axis values. Now what we're going to do is we are going to save a name here. So I'm going to call this like fill the name here, and I save it. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and see what my instructions tell me to do. It says name your Desmos file, put the link here. So I'm just going to grab the link here. Control C, Control V. I'm going to put the link here. And then I'm going to add a function y equals mx plus c, which is a line. And I do that by pressing plus again and an expression. And then I just put y equals mx plus c. And it says add sliders all. And sure, I want a slider for m and I want a slider for c. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to draw this line through these points. So it looks like my y-intercept's going to be around 6 or so. So I'm going to type 6 in for c. And then my slope, I can use the slider to adjust it. So let's see, looks like I want it to be about, I don't know, less than 0.1, so 0.08 maybe a little less, 0.06. Oh, that looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to lower my y-intercept value. There we go. That's pretty good, isn't it? What our objective is to try to make it so that half the points are above the line and half the points are below the line. So let's lower it a little bit more. That's too much. 6, 8 maybe. Oh, that's pretty good. Look at that. Okay, so my slope is 0.06 and my y-intercept is 5.68. So let me write that down. It asks us for the function here. We're going to say it's y equals 0.06 plus 5.68. Is that what it was? 0.06x plus 5.68. That's right. Okay. So that is my best fit line, and I just wrote it there. And it says take a screenshot of the graph and put it here. So I'm going to adjust it a little bit so that I get a better view. And then I'm going to screenshot. You can use the function. There's a screenshot function in Desmos too. I think you can do it with the forward or something, but you can just do a screenshot however you normally do screenshots. It's fine. So I put the screenshot there, and then it says how many days does it take to rise 1 unit. So I go back to the Desmos graph, And so like, for example, 1 unit, that would be going from 6.6, which is here, to 7.6, which is here. So that would be 6.6 is about day 15. 7.6 would be day 32. So that would be 32 minus 15, about 17 days. So it's about 17 days. So in about 17 days, Afghanistan doubles its number of cases. Actually, the natural doubling rate is 2.71 for reasons that were explained in that great YouTube video that was in our exponentials chapter. And after you finish calculating that, then you just go up to the top right-hand corner, and if you're in Google Classroom, you just press turn in, and the thing is done. And that's it.